Hey everyone, Dave here talking to you today about capital reserves for your investment real estate properties. There's a couple of reasons to do this. It's not only about the math, but also the mindset behind investing. So, certainly from the math standpoint, you'll want to have capital reserves in place on your investment properties to handle things like vacancies, unpaid rent, insurance deductibles, maintenance and repairs, irregular or seasonal expenses, and a whole host of things that can go wrong with properties. I'll talk to you about some personal experience. I have some properties in Philadelphia and have had a property manager exit the business in kind of a sloppy fashion. He let some things go toward the end before I could get somebody new in place. Couple that with a really well intended but poorly executed rental assistance program in Philadelphia. And when you put those two things together, I'm going to need to evict about 5 tenants over the next 2 months. And it would be really a bummer if I didn't have capital reserves in place to handle the lost rent, the vacancies, the legal expenses, other things associated with that. I have a colleague, she has properties in cold weather climate. She had a couple of people unexpectedly move out. These are single family homes, cost her to the tune of about $15,000 because people just don't like moving in the cold weather months, and those things just sat vacant and she needed to turn them over. So these are just a couple real world examples of why it's important to have those capital reserves in place. Now, you can, as a rough rule of thumb, target about 6 to 12 months of operating expenses for your capital reserve in each property. Initially, for probably your first one or two properties, maybe even three, I'd recommend having that capital reserve in place for all of them. As you get to a larger number of properties, you probably don't need that amount across all of them because, let's face it, not everything will go wrong simultaneously across all of the properties, let's hope. But then the final piece of this is, again, it's not just about the math, but also the mindset. And we're running this as a business. Something goes wrong, and I've got to open my own checkbook and put money in. And then something else goes wrong, and I've got to open my checkbook and put more money in. And even if that isn't disastrous financially for you, it may make you less inclined to be aggressive with this business and grow it as much as you would or could. And so, not only from the math, but also the mindset, it's important to have those capital reserves in place for real estate. That's it for now. Like and follow if you'd like to see more from me. Take care.